You might be wondering why I started this video with the gaze of Zachary Levi. This will be the YouTube method of attracting viewers to click on this video. But there is a reason why Zachary Levi is the topic for this video. No effects were added, and his PNG style will not be changed. It's just Zach and the leaving choice to have this video be started without checking a Linky Box skit. But no, really, that's how I do things around here with ADHD bordering near autism. In case you haven't watched a PBS Kids video, I have ADHD which borders near autism. Damn, I repeated myself, Zachary Levi. Who could forget him in Shazam?
We were thwarted.
Only to then descend into the horrors of being a bootlegger for the alt-right? You think Ellen DeGeneres and Bill Cosby had quick deaths in their careers? Then you think too much of TikTok videos or Ryan's World skits. I despise the ADHD style editing because you aren't given time to breathe into the world and experience the nature that we ourselves take from. After watching one of these lousy kids channels, I walked outside and took a deep breath. We have a wonderful world out there. I could be studying how to be a screenwriter. I could pitch my script to Hollywood and get the green light. I could have had a franchise in a world where furs like Zootopia don't get along. Let's add humans to the pack and have all that. I waste at least 10 minutes of my life watching Goop. The next time you do a 9 to 5 job, just remember that you are not suffering like Ryan Kaji. These ADHD style videos are the perfect blend for these editors to proceed to believe that their viewers have autism. And because more people are being diagnosed with the condition more than ever, studios take notice. But in such a world where parents of autistic people are spitting in their future grades, the suits start realizing that we need the perfect representation. And they did representation. Just not in the way we intended. Most media has struggled with the portrayal of autistic characters because of one thing. The writers don't know how to write an autistic character, and they likely have to rely on parents of autistic people who are trauma dumping about their experiences raising an autistic child. I'm not saying that every parent with an autistic child is an intolerant scumbag. There are plenty of the supportive kind out there. We are slowly moving in the right direction with the portrayal of autism thanks to having actual autistic people in the writer's room. But that doesn't mean we still have media that portrays autism poorly as in music. We thought that was the worst portrayal. But then came The Unbreakable Boy.
I'm also autistic.
Oh no, this can't be.
Starring Zachary Levi from his Academy Award winning film, Harold and the Purple Crayon.
It's so beautiful.
And also Shazam.
I'd like to purchase some of your finest beer, please.
In case autistic people don't get the loop because they seemingly don't understand sarcasm, Harold and the Purple Crayon was not good. And Shazam, Fury of the Gods bombed so hard that DC had hit reset with a new Superman film. And now its star, Zachary Levi, has recently gone as far as to say that vaccines caused his co-star Gavin Creel's death from cancer after being furious that Shazam didn't make him the next Captain America.
Because all you're telling me is that you actually don't give a fuck about me.
So now he's working as a father struggling to raise an autistic child. Red flags were activated, and already I checked out. Now I know what you're thinking. How are we gonna do this without coming off as ableist? Well, I'll tell you how. We're not.
Hey, that really sucked!
I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. I'm not gonna watch a show if the character explicitly mentions that he or she is autistic. It's not my obligation to watch whatever autistic representation there is in the media. I just want to watch good media, and if it has an autistic character, all the power to you. I'll watch whatever I want, and you're not gonna say no. I can play Hogwarts Legacy, despite knowing that I'm giving money to a transphobe. I can pay for Daily Wire Plus to make a review on the streaming service and their content, if I had the money, and I can still call it a poor man's Netflix, because that is what I can do. Let's be unbreakable here. This looks like a wet fart. So yes, with the downfall of Zachary Levi after Shazam, Harold, and whoever Rapunzel was married to,
Hi.
Zach gets cast as the father of an autistic child with autism. Dear Lord, it spreads like a virus. And brittle bone disease. What is brittle bone disease? It's a genetic disorder that makes your bones easier to break. It's the equivalent of wearing glass armor for protection, falling down from a single foot, and you're The cast includes Megan Fahey, Patricia Heaton, and of course, Jacob Laval as the autism kid, who's coincidentally named Austin. Zachary Levi plays as his dad, Scott, and he must raise him. Now, in all fairness, this is not a bad premise. This could be the best Academy Award winning drama Lionsgate ever cooked since 2020.
And the Oscar goes to
The Unbreakable Boy. But they decided to shelve for unknown reasons. But hey, Solomon Grundy is here. There are no official reasons why this movie was delayed. While some believe it was due to Sia's music, it was revealed by Gavin Warren, one of the actors involved with the film, playing Austin's brother Logan, stating that the release date was cancelled because of COVID. As much as this comes from one of the horses involved with this film, it is such a ludicrous statement that many on Reddit had to question it. This film was originally intended to be released in March of 2022, the same year that had Avatar: The Way of Water, Top Gun: Maverick, and just 2 weeks before the original date was The Batman. Batman. But just 8 days before the release of The Unbreakable Boy, Lionsgate must have gotten cold feet and said,
No ticket.
gotta be honest, I never heard of this film until just recently when I was finishing my Cubo video when the trailer dropped. But Lionsgate had other plans. Lionsgate continued, releasing hits like Plane, a pretty good Gerard Butler action thriller. To be frank, one of his better ones, since most action thrillers don't end up that good. Hope he doesn't end up like Liam Neeson. Then there was John Wick 4. You thought I was being sarcastic when I was gonna say that Lionsgate was gonna release a big pile of shit after The Unbreakable Boy seeming cancellation?
You underestimate my power!
Because John Wick 4 was awesome. Fight scenes, the top-down Hotline Miami action scene, Kane, John fucking with his dog. Fuck yes. A prepubescent teen became a full-grown man after watching this film. It was better than losing your virginity, you nerds. And after that, there was Saw X, or as I like to call it, Saw 10. Yes, the first fresh-rated Saw movie on Rotten Tomatoes. John Kramer is incredibly relatable, the villains are worse than Jigsaw, and Tobin Bell is still selling as Kramer despite being 80.
You promised dying people. Dying people!
A prepubescent teen became a full-grown man after watching that film. Some movies didn't make bank in the box office, but they made up with rave critical ratings. If Denis Villeneuve could still have a career after Blade Runner 2049, then I can't see anything different with this. But 2024 rolled around.
And there's no money in here!
Let's recap on what movie studios are rolling in that year. Disney had a great year. The First Omen, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Alien Romulus, Deadpool 3, and Inside Out 2. Some great stuff.
I like this one.
Especially when apes got together strong. Paramount also had a great year with A Quiet Place Day 1, Transformers 1, Sonic 3, Smile 2, and Gladiator 2. And even though Transformers 1 underperformed, it made up for it with a Twitter account promoting this film. Universal broke in with The Fall Guy, Twisters, The Wild Robot, and Wicked. Pretty solid films. Warner Bros. Has Dune 2 and Godzilla and Kong. And Sony had Bad Boys 4 and Venom 3. Those were the only films I enjoyed that year.
I won't forget you, buddy.
What did Lionsgate get? They have Arthur the King. So good that it was their most popular Letterboxd review. By the way, follow that. And that's pretty much it. Lionsgate hit the bottom of the barrel in 2024. How could a studio that once had a casual audience eyes turning with John Wick 4 and Saw X, yet the next year released Borderlands, The Crow, and Megalopolis? Short answer, they all suck. Although I thought The Crow was a guilty pleasure of mine. And things don't look good for Lionsgate as they signed a deal to use AI. But hey, then at these two Panthera just hit when I was writing the script. So yeah, Lionsgate is not looking so good. But The Unbreakable Boy is back, just in time with the release of Sonic 3. Aw man, many autistic people were grinning ear to ear looking at the other trailers for other movies while waiting for the Bloopers' third outing on screen, and when this came up, we were all like, okay.
Of course they have.
It didn't look good, it didn't look bad, it looked to be your standard family drama. But then the moment Austin said this,
oh yeah, I'm also autistic.
My first thought was just, oh no. And that's when I checked out and recorded playing Silent Hill 2 Remake. But let's carry on for the sake of carrying on. Just 1 minute into this trailer, the protagonist goes from Austin to Scott. Everything that plays through the rest of the trailer is your typical family drama. So why are people hating this trailer besides Zachary Levi? I mean, it's not a bad trailer, but it's not something I would go out of my way to watch. This isn't something like music where there's a bunch of sensory overload that makes Linky Box blush. It just feels normal.
Not bad, kid. Also not good.
When I check out the promotion on Facebook for the movie, the actor playing Austin, Jacob Laval, sounds autistic enough.
The movie trailer that you're about to watch is in theaters now, and it's for a movie called The Unbreakable Boy, which I filmed 4 years ago when I was 12 years old. So yeah.
He has the strange mannerisms that ableists will see as a fucking zombie. Way to go on being better than music. Then when reading the comments online, that's what hit me. The movie focused on Zachary Levi over the autistic child. In other words, your lead role is not the autistic person, but rather those around them. And to those around them, an autistic person's behavior is perceived as challenge and craze. Remember this particular meme about a certain character being autistic, but then being next to an even more severely autistic person makes you believe that person needs to be sent to a psych ward? Yeah, scary. Now imagine that, but one person is neurotypical and the other is autistic. That makes it worse. It doesn't take a psychiatrist to realize that this would be seen as ableist. But whatever, let's scratch all of this off the list. I hope this movie is an emotional roller coaster and unconditional love story between I'm Against Vaccine Shazam and this kid. Oh yeah, so this movie isn't out yet at the time of me writing the script. You know, let's look back at Call the Collector. To those viewers who have stuck around for a PBS Kids video, you will know that I said I declared Call the Collector to be mid and a poor swan song for that video. And I still stand by that, by the way, but at least there was autistic representation by having an actual autistic person voice Carl, having several autistic writers, designers, other voice actors besides Carl, storyboarders, key posers, in-betweeners, cleaners, color slappers, compers, copying everything out for thousands of shots to make the show look as best as possible.
Sure, yeah. Although like 90% of that, if I'm being honest, sounds completely made up.
Even if Carl the Collector is mid at best, at least had some autistic backing to it. Even The Unbreakable Boy had autistic backing, but starring Zachary Levi became a red flag. That's like casting Neil Gaiman as a detective trying to solve a murder case. Oops, The Unbreakable Boy was going to be an experience that I would be paying my money to see it. The concept was as simple as a cold bottle of water. Shazam came out of retirement. The autistic kid is autistic. Oklahoma gave free real estate in filming this, and even though one of the charities involved, Autism Oklahoma, used a puzzle piece instead of the more common loop or rainbow, they aren't Autism Speaks. Because autism is often associated with the LGBT community, I might make a video on Pride Month if that comes around. I knew I was going in, being expected to be called the R word for the true autistic experience, a classic Academy Award stimmer. Here's a picture of me begging with my cousin to see The Unbreakable Boy over Captain America 4. Have you ever seen a more severely autistic kid? Finally came back from The Unbreakable Boy, and I will confidently say that it's one of the movies of all time. Let's just say that the best thing about the experience was that I was the only kid there. Everyone else was either a grandma or a grandpa. They did air some trailers like Elio and Bad Guys 2, but we're here to break bones for heaven's sake. But to be honest, it's not the worst thing in the world. I have seen more pain in my life than just a movie, but people don't learn that a movie is just a movie. I think this Letterboxd review confused Ceda's autism movie with this. The hatred is overblown. Now, this doesn't mean the movie is good. It's a run-of-the-mill family drama with lines that are cliche like, "My whole life, I was helping Austin." But the truth is, Austin was helping me.
James thought he was helping this girl, but the truth is, she was helping him.
But as I watched this movie myself, I took some notes on my phone. At least I didn't get in trouble for recording. Let's start with the characters. They are as average as a 3-star restaurant from Gordon Ramsay. Scott is your typical dad with alcohol issues. Like most dads, he tries to be there for his son, only for work to get in the way. The movie opens with a Fight Club style plot twist where Scott has an imaginary friend named Joe. The twist was not necessary as that Fight Club twist was overused, and even if they still revealed it halfway throughout the film, it wouldn't have added anything to the plot. Austin mentioned Star Wars and SpongeBob near the beginning of the film, and he does mention Fight Club at the beginning. So yes, they tried to pull a Fight Club. But Scott's friendship with Joe was actually pretty sweet. Also nice was his relationship with Teresa, Austin's mother. I don't know if you knew this, but I saw Love Hurts with Short Round and Asha, and it sucked balls. Not only was it boring, but it hurts very hard that I expected to come in with an open mind thanks to an excellent actor, and come out feeling betrayed. The relationship between Short Round and Asha felt forced and unnatural. The action is what saved it, and even that wasn't able to solve this generic mess. Back to Unbreakable Boy, the relationship between Scott and Teresa felt like I was watching a couple. I'm not an expert on writing romantic relationships, but it did feel like I was watching people fight. Both parents also are alcoholics, but I feel like this cliche was too generic. Why not have the mom be a heroin addict? In the film, she's a gamer playing Gears of War 2 and Overwatch. Yep, that's good for the kids.
Sorry! Whatever, it's all online anyway.
She, also like Austin, has brittle bone disease, and while it's not as bad as Austin's, it does explain where Austin gets his genetic from. She also is divorced twice, which doesn't add anything to the plot. You may be surprised I'm rushing this, but there's like nothing here to discuss about for this film. Scott's mother acts like an overbearing parent. His dad is supportive. Joe is supportive. The bully is a bully who becomes a friend to Logan. They reveal in the movie that his dad's in jail and his mom is sick, but we never get to know him. It just feels forced because it's based on a true story. Here's a tip. It's okay to break realism to tell a better story or have better gameplay. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 just hit, and while you can't be executed for your crimes,
Do your duty.
nothing was stopping you from changing your gear with the press of a button. Logan is your typical kid who just wants to be normal. Nothing special about him. Then there's Austin, the main star of the movie, the secondary main star. If anything, the movie's portrayal of autism should be is one of the most generic autism. While Austin does display his autistic traits, his main role is being a shining ball of optimism. Austin's portrayal of autism is nothing special. He's just a diet depiction of what autism is like. Storing things neatly, being non-verbal, being a prick at times, getting sent to a psych ward. Yeah, that happens in the movie. Austin is sent to a psych ward around Christmas time. They even have a scene where they inject Austin with an antipsychotic to stop him from screaming. I think by that point, a lot of autistic people might find this traumatizing. Thankfully, it only lasts around 5 minutes of the movie, and Austin is sent back to live with his family. But another scene that really made my blood boil was a scene where Austin's family goes to church. Because the producers have done Christian films, what makes this one different? At that point in the film, Logan is an infant, and Austin decides it'll be really fun to run around naked in the church, and I wanted to end it all. Thankfully, Scott's pastor was there to help Austin, and he even shows up when Scott goes to rehabilitation. Now comes the big part. Scott's relationship with Austin. It's not that bad. It's your typical father and son bonding, with even a camping trip at the end. So nothing special here. By this point, the characters did not sell it to me. They are either generic or do something so annoying that I looked into the mirror and I was relieved that I didn't act that autistic. How about the drama? Some of the scenes like Austin's parents losing their jobs, Scott being kicked out of the house for drinking, and losing their house were scenes that were really emotional and moving. But then there are scenes where they're flat out dull and cliched. Like the generic parents that are there for their child, the typical speech about how my child fixed me instead of him, the autistic kid suffering from bullies. Besides some of the dramatic moments I like, there were scenes where it made me go, wait, this is garbage? That was actually pretty cool. It opens in media res like Sonic the Hedgehog at a holiday party, there's a brief animation of a dragon, and it had a nice where are they now moment with a nice ending to touch. There was even an angelic of a joke that I actually chuckled at. So that's The Unbreakable Boy to you. It's not the end of cinema, but rather forgettable family drama that made me nearly forget its existence about 30 minutes after leaving the theater. Which happened just now, by the way. The hatred is overblown for a film that's nothing to write home about. With a by-the-book story, I still felt like I was robbed. Why did I put a how to insult an audience in the title of this video? Because I was insulted. I was insulted by the belief that it would be the worst ever when all I got was a bargain bin film. I was misled to think it was a disaster only to get generic instead. It was easy to dunk on Mufasa because of the #1 movie and all that, but this has nothing to back onto it other than being connected to an actor being a right-wing douchebag. With the Smurfs movie coming out, I'm more excited about that being trash because it's fun to dunk on it. Influencer Smurf has smurfed me when I was 14. The opposite of love is not hate, but rather apathy, and that is this movie. It deserves your apathy.
Statement: apathy is death.
Apathy is death.
Apathy is death. Apathy is death.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to stay out of cringe.
I'm coming to the defense of truth, because truth is good, and we should all live in it, guys.